Good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international seminar on tobacco, nicotine, cancer, oncology, pollution, addiction, de-addiction, rehabilitation, palliative care, hospice, parrots, awareness, education, environment, health, well-being, and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns, also commemorating World No Tobacco Day and also World Parrots Day on 31st May 2024. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating and celebrating World No Tobacco Day. With the theme Protecting Children from Tobacco Industry Interference. Every year, 31st May is World No Tobacco Day. This yearly celebration informs the public on the dangers of using tobacco, the business practices of tobacco companies, what World Health Organization is doing to fight the tobacco epidemic, and what people around the world can do to claim their right to health and healthy living and to protect future generations. The member states of World Health Organization created World No Tobacco Day in 1987 to draw global attention to the tobacco epidemic and the preventable death and diseases it causes. In 1987, the World Health Assembly passed resolution WHA 40.38 calling for 7th April 1988 to be a World No Smoking Day. In 1988, resolution WHA 42.19 was passed calling the celebration of World No Tobacco Day every year on 31st May. When we look at various themes for World No Tobacco Day since 2010, the theme for 2010 and each year focuses on specific topic and issue, like the theme for 2010 was gender and tobacco, emphasis on marketing to women. And the theme for World No Tobacco Day 2011 was the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. In 2012, the theme was tobacco industry interference. And in 2013, the theme was Free Yourself, Ban Tobacco Advertising, Promotion, and Sponsorship. In 2014, the theme was Raise Taxes on Tobacco. In 2015, the theme was Stop Illicit Trade of Tobacco Products. In 2016, the theme was Get Ready for Plain Packaging. 2017, the theme was Tobacco, a Threat to Development. 2018, the theme was Tobacco and Heart Disease. In 2019, the theme was Tobacco and Lung Health. In 2020, the theme was Tobacco Exposed, the Secret Sounds. In 2021, the theme was Commit to Quit. In 2022, the theme was Tobacco, Threat to Our Environment. In 2023, the theme was Grow Food, Not Tobacco. And this year, the theme for World No Tobacco Day 2024 is Protecting Children from Tobacco Industry Interference. So let's look at various aspects and issues related to World No Tobacco. Youth step in and step out. With Tobacco Exposed, World No Tobacco Day 2024 will give us a platform to young people across the world who are urging governments to shield from predatory tobacco marketing tactics. We see the industry targets youth for a lifetime profits and creating a new wave of addiction. Children are using e-cigarettes at rates higher than adults in all regions, and globally, Estimated 37 million youths aged between 13 to 5 years are using tobacco. So on this occasion, we are commemorating and celebrating and creating awareness on World No Tobacco Day. So before that, let's quickly look at a short video and then we'll get into detail. So in the meanwhile, if anyone is interested to make presentations related to any of the above topics mentioned on the screen, you are free to share your details in the chat box. Whenever, wherever the time permits, we'll be inviting you for your presentations. So share all the details in a single message to the host and a copy to co-host. Any queries we'll be taking it after this end of the sessions. So if you have any queries, keep sharing in chat box.
Hey, got some words of warning for you about a little industry called Big Tobacco. Why? Because they're targeting us. We've been through a lot, all kinds of climate crises, a global pandemic, and 3 economic recessions. That's wild. You know what else is wild? That while millions of people were losing their homes, lives, and livelihoods, someone else was making bank of all that suffering and misery. Big Tobacco. I'm a little heated, and you should be too. Here's the facts. Those sustainability cleanups don't even dent the pollution they cause. We are facing climate catastrophe. And here's Big Tobacco cutting down 600 million trees every year to grow the stuff that'll kill over 8 million people. Never mind the 84 million tons of CO2 emissions created to produce it. Oh, and Big Tobacco helping people, being responsible with how they source and sell their product. Why don't we check in with the farmers they've exploited, the minority groups they've targeted, the kids they're marketing to? Yeah, they're pushing this stuff to kids. You've heard of e-cigarettes, nicotine pouches, vapes with fruity new flavors. How about 5-year-olds heading to the ER because they got their hands on a vape at school? You think they care? I'll let them say it themselves. Smoking e-cigarettes is totally safe. The base of our business is the high school student. Young adult smokers are the only source of replacement smokers. We don't smoke that, we just sell it. We reserve the right to smoke for the young. We're done with the lies. We won't let them win. So you can leave this where it is, or you can step in, stand up, use your voice, and say no to big tobacco.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. We have built the world's most successful cigarette brands, and it is our vision to create a smoke-free world. As we continue to make billions selling cigarettes around the world that kill more than 8 million people. Rolling.
Our independent scientific research, paid for and approved by the tobacco industry, shows that heated tobacco and e-cigarettes are less harmful. Trust our science. Pineapple lemonade, exotic coconut. Oh, and don't worry, it's all fun and no harm. The company told me so when they paid me. Hashtag vape life. They're coming. These tobacco laws and policies are a direct and unacceptable violation of smokers' rights. I don't care about non-smokers. Bring 'em! Dear shareholders, our tobacco businesses successfully executed their strategies and delivered a strong financial performance once again.
We have seen just a glimpse of how this tobacco industry is using this marketing business tactics to convince everyone that it is safe and it is sustainable and it is pollution free, and they are helping people. In fact, what they are doing is quite opposite of what they are saying. They are killing people. They are helping people to kill other people through various diseases and disorders like addiction, like cancer, and so on, through passive and active smoking, and introducing cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and various tobacco products in chewable form, smoking form, snorting form, and in various forms. And it's a lifelong ritual that becomes lifelong practice once you get addicted to the smoking. And there is no known benefit. The only known benefit is killing yourself. I don't think that is a benefit. That is what people are focusing on. So now, let's watch a short video on how to quit tobacco smoking. We'll get into further details.
Hi everyone! Isn't this incredible? We're out here in the outdoor parking lot of the World Health Organization and smoking is completely prohibited. Around the world today, we are seeing more and more smoke-free places, both indoors and outdoors, and seeing more signs exactly like this one. And we all know why. Tobacco is harmful for health, not only for smokers, but also to the people who are exposed to secondhand smoke. Even for smokers who are well informed of the harms of tobacco, quitting can be incredibly difficult. I spoke with an expert, and he shared 3 of the major challenges to quitting tobacco.
As a tobacco user, their body and brain get used to functioning on a certain level of nicotine. If they quit, that means their body need to learn how to function without nicotine. This adjustment process will make them feel uncomfortable and cause withdrawal symptoms.
Okay, so that was our first challenge, addiction to nicotine. Dongbo shared the second major challenge, which is the ways that tobacco use is intimately tied to social activities or behaviors. Things like hanging out with friends, having a cup of coffee, or talking on the phone. Now, let's hear about the third challenge.
As a tobacco user, they normally link tobacco use and tobacco with certain emotions, thoughts, and beliefs via the process of withdrawal we just mentioned, and also operant conditioning. For example, they tend to smoke when they feel angry, they feel stressed, they feel happy, or they feel sad. So that means part of quitting need to break these subconscious thoughts.
Once a tobacco user has decided that they want to quit, what are some of the first steps they can take? Well, in addition to consulting a physician, they can start by setting a quit date, something like a birthday or an anniversary. Also, tell the people around you that you're trying to quit. Your friends and family can support you during this challenging time. Anticipate cravings. When you're feeling a desire to use tobacco, you should have an activity in mind, something like having a glass of water, going for a run, or eating a healthy snack. Also, it's important to make your environment tobacco-free. Remove any lighters, ashtrays, or cigarette packs from around you to reduce any temptations. Let's hear from Dongbo for a few extra tips on quitting tobacco.
There are a range of behavior or psychological tobacco cessation interventions which can be used to support tobacco users to quit. For example, they may associate with other habits or behaviors such as eating, such as watching TV, such as talking on the phone or hanging out with friends. And to quit tobacco also means they need to break these connections that have formed the habit. Many people actually quit successfully without assistance. However, without cessation assistance, the chance of success quitting is low. A maximum of only 4% of attempts to quit tobacco will succeed. Many years after quitting, tobacco users may still feel craving for tobacco because tobacco users normally have their tobacco use so intimately tied to their everyday activities and also so closely linking to their emotional thoughts, beliefs. So even after they quitting, whenever they exposed to smoking cues, will let them like craving for smoking again. With your quit plan being made, you can more likely to quit successfully. During the quitting process, you may seek additional support from health professionals, tobacco treatment specialists. They can provide you personalized advice and support. With their support, I'm sure you will quit successfully.
Quitting tobacco can be difficult, but it's not impossible. The benefits for your health, your relationships, and even your finances are immeasurable. So good luck, and we're here to support you. You can do it.
Preventable deaths in the United States. In fact, the smoke that is being inhaled contains over 7,000 toxic chemicals. Can you imagine how this affects the major organs of the body? While smoking can cause significant damage to the human body over time, the good news is that some of the damage can actually be reversed. Have you ever wondered what happens to the human body when a person stops smoking? Well, that is exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Before we get into all the medical stuff, just know that we are not doctors. This video is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Please speak with your doctor for medical advice and treatment. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go through all the major systems of the body to see how they're affected by smoking and what happens when a person quits. First and foremost, let's talk about the lungs. How does smoking affect the respiratory system? Over time, smoking causes inflammation in the lungs, which constricts the airways and makes it more difficult to breathe. It destroys alveoli, which are the tiny sacs in the lungs that help distribute oxygen to red blood cells so that it can be transported to other parts of the body. Studies have shown that when a person quits smoking, it results in an increased lung capacity and improved breathing within a matter of days after quitting. The lungs actually start showing significant signs of improvement relatively quickly. With that said, some people may notice more coughing as the lungs clean themselves while trying to eliminate all traces of pollution that was caused by smoking. How does smoking affect the cardiovascular system? Smoking is especially harmful to the heart and blood vessels. Over time, it causes damage that increases your risk of atherosclerosis, which is a disease that causes the arteries to harden and narrow due to the buildup of plaque. This ultimately reduces the flow of oxygen-rich blood to the organs and other parts of the body. Smoking is a major risk factor for heart disease, especially when it's combined with other risk factors. Studies show that people who smoke are at an increased risk for heart attack and stroke as well. Even light smoking and secondhand smoke can cause damage to the heart and blood vessels. The good news is, quitting smoking will reduce your risk for developing and dying from heart disease and will also lower your risk of atherosclerosis and blood clots. According to Healthline.com, in 3 years after quitting smoking, your risk of a heart attack will decrease to that of a non-smoker. If you smoke and already have heart disease, quitting smoking will reduce your risk of sudden cardiac death, a second heart attack, and death from other chronic diseases. Next, let's talk about the immune system. What are the effects of smoking on the immune system? The immune system is naturally strong in most people, but smoking definitely puts a strain on it. Cigarette smoke irritates lung tissue and makes smokers more susceptible to conditions such as pneumonia and bronchitis. With that said, when a person stops smoking, their immune system will begin to heal and strengthen itself in a relatively short period of time. What are the effects of smoking on the reproductive system? Many women who smoke experience fertility problems and find it difficult to get pregnant. Some women smokers who are successful in getting pregnant are at an increased risk of miscarriages and other complications. Smoking while pregnant drastically increases the risk of a number of complications in newborns because the chemicals from cigarettes interfere with fetal and postnatal development. But it's not only females who are affected. Smoking affects the reproductive systems of men as well. One study found that smoking negatively affects sperm health and can even cause a decreased sperm count. Quitting smoking allows the reproductive system to function regularly and reduces the risk factors associated with infertility in both males and females. Does smoking affect your kidneys? To give a brief answer, yes, smoking even has negative effects on the kidneys as well, but it's in an indirect way. Smoking affects the medications that are used to treat high blood pressure. And uncontrolled hypertension for an extended period of time is one of the leading causes of kidney disease. So to simplify things, smoking can contribute to high blood pressure, which ultimately can contribute to kidney disease. As previously mentioned, smoking decreases arterial blood flow to your organs, including the kidneys, which can negatively impact how they function. With that said, stopping smoking helps reduce or eliminate these negative effects. Now let's talk about the nervous system. How does smoking affect the nervous system? Nicotine in tobacco is a very addictive compound that affects the nervous system. When a person smokes, nicotine reaches the brain in a matter of seconds and acts as both a stimulant and a depressant to the central nervous system. It causes a release of the hormones epinephrine and dopamine, which leads to the feelings of pleasure and contentment that comes from smoking a cigarette. With that said, those feelings are very short-lived. Yeah, you may benefit from a brief boost after smoking a cigarette, but it will be followed by feelings of fatigue. And this is what gives the smoker a craving for another cigarette, and this cycle is how people become so easily addicted to smoking. Moving right along, what happens to your skin when you quit smoking? The chemicals found in cigarette smoke can have detrimental effects on your skin. As previously mentioned, smoking causes narrowed arteries and decreased blood flow. When the blood flow is reduced, the skin cells receive less oxygen and nutrients. This loss of essential nutrients causes the skin to lose its shine and causes creasing to appear. Premature aging causes skin around and under the eyes to look wrinkled and older in appearance. Because smoking tends to accelerate the effects of aging on the skin, stopping brings positive results to the face, neck, and hands. Smokers also tend to develop yellow stains on their fingernails as well. But this will disappear over time after quitting. So once you stop smoking, the nails and skin will regain their shine and luster in a relatively short amount of time. Another common question I see is, does smoking cause hair loss? Smoking does, in fact, have similar effects on the hair as it does on the skin. Studies found that the chemicals found in cigarette smoke, when inhaled, can contribute to hair loss. Similar to your skin, hair follicles also suffer because of the slowing of blood circulation in the body caused by smoking. With that said, when a person stops smoking, the hair begins to regain its fullness and look healthier and thicker over time. Another thing to consider is the smell. Even expensive shampoos cannot hide the cigarette smell that often lingers in the hair of smokers. So a person who quits smoking will benefit from less hair loss and better smelling hair. I mean, what more could you ask for? Switching gears just a bit, what are the effects of smoking on oral health? It should be noted that those who smoke cigarettes are more likely to suffer from dental problems such as bad breath, stained teeth, gum disease, loss of taste and smell, increased plaque and tartar buildup, and an increased risk of oral cancer. Bad breath and stained teeth are caused by the tar and nicotine that are found in cigarettes. The more serious detrimental problems, such as gum disease and oral cancer, stem from reduced blood circulation to the mouth that is caused by smoking. It should also be noted that approximately 90% of those with cancer of the mouth or throat use or have used tobacco for a period of time. The good news is, those who quit will benefit from a decreased risk of being diagnosed with oral cancer. And they'll also benefit from fresher breath, less teeth staining, better sense of taste and smell, and a reduced risk of gum disease. Another common question is there a link between smoking and breast cancer? As doctors expected, many studies have linked smoking to an increased risk of breast cancer. This is especially true for women who start smoking before they have their first child. One study found that they are 61% more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer compared to women who never smoked. While evidence does not prove a direct link between smoking and breast cancer, it does suggest that there is a very strong association between the two. And last but not least, what are the effects of smoking on mental health? Most of this video has been focused on how smoking affects the physical organs and systems of the body. Well, just know that when you smoke, it affects you mentally as well. Smoking tends to cause relaxation in the short term, which temporarily reduces stress. This is one of the reasons it's so addicting. But with that said, ultimately, smoking increases level of tension and anxiety and increases the likelihood of depression over time. So if you smoke, you have to ask yourself, is the short-term boost worth the long-term detriments to your health? Quitting smoking relieves a lot of stress and anxiety and also helps with depression as well. And as your mental health improves, it allows you to enjoy an overall better quality of life. So there you have it. If you truly want to reduce your risk of the diseases and conditions that are associated with smoking cigarettes, all you have to do is never start smoking. Now, I do realize that ship has already sailed for many of you, but as we discussed, if you do already smoke, quitting now will benefit each of your body's systems and much of the damage can be reversed. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you thought it was helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this.
So these are the various effects that happen. Smoking impacts on our body, mind, and not only physiologically, but psychologically, emotionally, socially, economically. It has various impacts on health. So today, we are also looking at various aspects which happen as part of smoking. We have seen how it affects our body in various ways. We'll also look at the different type of cancers, their treatments, and so on. The entire session is being live streamed on YouTube. The link has been already shared in the chat box, and the same will be also available on the website. The website link has been already shared with you. So COP10 adopted historic decisions to protect the environment from the harms of tobacco and to address the cross-border tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, and the depiction of tobacco in entertainment as well as media. The World Health Organization and STOP, a global tobacco industry watchdog, have launched today Cooking the Next Generation, a report highlighting how the tobacco and nicotine industry designs products, implements marketing campaigns, and works to shape policy environments to help them addict the world's youth. This comes just ahead of World No Tobacco Day, marked on 31st May, where World Health Organization is amplifying the voices of young people who are calling on governments to protect them from being targets of the tobacco and nicotine industry. The report shows that globally, an estimated 37 million children aged between 13 to 15 years use tobacco, and in many countries, the rate of e-cigarettes use among adolescents exceeds that of adults. In the World Health Organization European region, 20% of 15-year-olds surveyed reported using e-cigarettes in the past 30 days. Despite significant progress in reducing tobacco use, the emergence of e-cigarettes and other new tobacco and nicotine products present a grave threat to youth and tobacco control. Studies demonstrate that e-cigarettes use increases conventional cigarette use, particularly among non-smoking youth, by nearly 3 times. In fact, many times we see e-cigarettes are the window or the doorway or the gateway to smoking. History is repeating as the tobacco industry tries to sell the same nicotine to our children in different packaging. As quoted by Dr. Tedros Adhanom, World Health Organization Director General, these industries are actively targeting schools, children, and young people with new products that are essentially a candy-flavored trap. How can they talk about harm reduction when they are marketing these dangerous, highly addictive products to children? These industries continue to market their products to young people with enticing flavors like candy and fruit. Research in the United States of America found that more than 70% of the youth e-cigarettes users would quit if the products were only available in tobacco flavor. These industries are intentionally designing products and utilizing marketing strategies that appeal directly to the children. As quoted by Dr. Rudiger Kretsch, Director, World Health Organization, Director of Health Promotion, the use of child-friendly flavors like cotton candy and bubblegum combined with sleek and colorful designs that resemble toys is a blatant attempt to addict young people to these harmful products. These deceptive tactics highlight the urgent need for a strong regulations to protect young people from a lifetime of harmful dependence. World Health Organization urges governments to protect young people from the uptake of the tobacco, e-cigarettes, and other nicotine products by banning or tightly regulating these products. World Health Organization recommends including creating 100% smoke-free indoor public places, banning flavored e-cigarettes, bans on marketing, advertising, and promotion, higher taxes, increasing public awareness of the deceptive tactics used by the industry, and supporting youth-led education and awareness initiatives. Addicted youth represent a lifetime of profits to the industry, said George Alday, Director, Stop at Vital Strategies. That's why the industry aggressively lobbies to create an environment that makes it cheap, attractive, and easy for youth to get hooked. If the policymakers don't act, current and future generations may be facing a new wave of harms characterized by addiction to and use of many tobacco and nicotine products, including cigarettes. Youth advocates around the world are taking a stand against the tobacco and nicotine industry destructive influences and manipulative marketing. They are exposing these deceptive practices and advocating for their own tobacco-free future. Youth organizations from around the world participated in the last session of conference of the Paris to the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, COP10, to deliver a powerful message to policymakers. Future generations will remember you as the one who protected them or the ones who failed them and put them in danger. So the choice is yours. The choice is for the industry. Dr. Tedros recognized the following youth organizations among the 2024 World No Tobacco Day Awards: Thailand Youth Institute, Kingdom of Thailand, Tobacco Abstinence Club, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Campaign for Tobacco Free Kids, Argentina Republic. These inspiring young leaders are protecting their generation from an industry that uses them as profit, but not as people. These inspiring young leaders, by working together, government, public health organizations, civil society, and empowered youth can create a world where the next generation is free from the dangers of tobacco and nicotine addiction. The publication Hooking the Next Generation, How the Tobacco Industry Captures Young Customers, details various aspects on young people across the world are urging governments to shield them from predatory tobacco marketing tactics. The industry targets youth for a lifetime of profits, creating a new wave of addiction, which the latest data show that children are using e-cigarettes at a rate higher than adults in many countries and globally are estimated more than 37 million youth aged 13 to 5 years are using tobacco. Let's watch another short video.
Come and see. I need to show you something. A product that is destroying our planet. To make space for it, millions of trees are cut down. To grow it, chemicals poison the land, the soil, the water. To produce it, the air becomes saturated with toxins. And when it's discarded, our environment is polluted in ways that we can't afford. Tobacco costs us more than 8 million lives every year. It also costs us 600 million trees, 200,000 hectares of land, 84 million tons of CO2, 22 billion tons of water. Tobacco is not only poisoning people, it's poisoning our planet.
Let's watch one more video.
Goodbye to my cigarettes. This is where I usually keep them. Done. I don't know how this is gonna happen.
Stay strong.
Oncology.
I'm Krishna Nogres.
我的名字呢叫孙琦。
My name is Donna. Soy Cecilia de Montevideo, Uruguay, en Sudamérica.
مرحبا أنا اسمي راتب القيسي ساكن في أردن عمان عزب.
I'm from Tbilisi, Georgia, currently living in New York.
I'm from Cape Town, South Africa.
出生在中国。
I am from Delhi, in India.
Yo tengo una inmobiliaria, me dedico a vender casas y apartamentos, alquiler, etc.
شغلي هو عبارة عن مونتير وهوايتي هي الدي جي.
I'm a single mom, master's graduate, and senior account manager at a PR firm.
I'm a graphics designer.
I'm a diplomat working for Georgian Mission at UN.
目前在北京协和医学院读书，攻读博士学位，也算是医学类的科学。竟然是一个吸烟的人群，这一点对于我来说也是出乎意料的。对于很多人来说都感到很吃惊。
Over the next 2 weeks, I will be quitting smoking and taking you on a journey to what that's like, the challenges, the ups and the downs. Currently, my son and I stay with my parents and my grandmother. They will be holding me accountable, my grandmother and my mother especially, who are very anti me smoking.
My wife Tamar and me, we have 2 kids, and I'm glad that they've been very supportive of my attempt to embark on this journey to quit smoking.
Okay, so this is where I stay. This is my lane. My house is there. I'm quitting this habit because I don't want to depend on something that is so harmful as a coping mechanism. I would rather work out, cook, bake, do anything, have anything as a coping mechanism. But to resort to smoking, it's like you're self-sabotaging yourself, and I don't want to do that. Secondly, if I stop smoking, then my dad will stop smoking, and he's a cancer patient, so he shouldn't. He should stay away from it. So I'm planning on quitting. So, and what do you think about that?
Well, you can if you have the will. You can do it. I believe in you.
I believe that the decision to quit smoking is a very personal one. With the difficult year that we've been through, the whole year of being locked down and a pandemic, then I had a virus. I was ill for 2 weeks, and at a certain point it was very stressful, and I somehow started to get philosophical in a way, and then I just realized that there are small things that deciding my life in a very, very big way. And if there are things that I can't change, I should. And just like that, I think like something turned in me, you know, and suddenly the smell of a smoke of a cigarette or cigarette just on a table stopped being so appealing.
The reason why I'm choosing to stop smoking is because the pandemic has really shown me that it's so vital to look after yourself and look after your health. I think about 10 years ago I had TB. Should I get COVID, my lungs are compromised already, so it wouldn't be ideal for me to continue smoking. Yo me tomé muy en serio dejar de fumar por varias razones. Primero la salud, sin duda, porque fueron muchos años de fumar y ya es momento de pensar en cambiar esa situación.
绝大多数的工作，绝大多数时候也会来自同事或者说是朋友的反馈，他们会劝我戒烟。因为对于绝大多数人来说的话，他们意识到吸烟是一个有害健康的。
طبعا السبب اللي خلاني أقلع عن التدخين هو التعب الصحي. كمان لما نكون قاعدين مع الأصدقاء أو المقربين اللي ما بيدخنوا كانوا يضايقوا من ريحة الدخان. حتى أنا كمان كنت إني دائما أشم في ريحة الدخان.
I think I'm not the only one if I say that I tried to quit many times. I feel like this is something that is inevitably connected with the habit of smoking. I realized that these are things that are affecting my life in a really, really bad way on a daily basis. But I was just not listening to it. I was not looking at it. For me, it's a big change psychologically, mentally. I don't know. Probably I'm on my way to be a different person.
I know every day is not going to be sunshine, but today is sunshine. I'm going to enjoy this day and just remind myself whenever I feel the urge why I'm doing this and why it's important for me.
La verdad que es todo un desafío porque no es fácil, pero es posible. Me encantó este programa en el que estamos trabajando porque el título sugiere los que abandonan son los ganadores y realmente es una lucha, es una guerra que uno tiene que ganar.
I'm very determined, and because of COVID and everybody's lockdown situation and staying at home, it's becoming very difficult for me to not get up and take a smoke because I'm anxious. So it's going to be a tough 2 weeks.
Someone outside is smoking. I miss that smell even though I did smoke yesterday. And when I smell this right now, currently standing, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Let's watch another episode. We are taking this method so that it is more relative and relevant, and we can connect to the stories around. And don't worry about the certificates. Ensure that you are filling up the registration form, which has been shared in the chat box, the Google form, which you have all joined the meeting. And it is also mandatory to fill the registration form and feedback form in the Zoom platform. The registration form is active in the Zoom platform. We request everyone to fill all the details. Do not leave any details. Do not enter any incomplete, invalid details. Wherever it is required. So fill the details and submit it. That will qualify you for the certificate. And kindly stay until the feedback form is shared at the end of these sessions. Don't keep messaging regarding certificates. Concentrate on various sessions that are happening, various videos and presentations. It's more important than certificate. Right? Certificate anyway you will get. Need not worry if you follow the instructions. So don't keep distracting yourself and others with these unnecessary messages. So let's watch another video.
My quitting tobacco journey, because I've tried to quit before. I need to be more aware of my triggers this time around if I am to continue this journey and do it properly.
These substances become like this emotional support system. It's not nice. It's very unhealthy. So I have to learn to break that chain of dependency or like emotional dependency from such a harsh and a very harmful thing.
I think because I made it so much part of my routine every day that I'm finding it hard to not think about the fact that I would have had to smoke in stressful situations when I read an email that just completely stressed me out, or when I had a cup of coffee.
戒烟过程中呢，最重要的一个挑战，或者对于我来说觉得最困难的时候，其实是前3周，因为这个时候，对于尼古丁的一个戒断反应是最强烈的。那么在这个过程中，你会感到疲惫，感到嗜睡，或者说是流鼻涕，感到心烦意乱。这个阶段呢，其实是最难通过的。
I think the toughest part is to tackle all these triggers and the habits that you might have. One of the most popular ones is like having a cigarette with a coffee, or while you're having the drinks with your friends, or sometimes after a good meal, or just casually during the conversation feeling like you want to light it up. So I somehow try to focus on something that is more positive, and I'm trying to substitute my habits with a different other stuff.
Desafío también que podés enfrentar es cuando te juntás con gente que fuma, que por ahí te da ganas de fumar. Antes yo era una de las fumadoras sociales con mis amigas. Cada vez que estábamos juntas fumábamos.
同时呢，也会有同事跟我，有吸烟的同事会跟我一起在吃饭之后进行吸烟活动。那么，当你戒烟之后，这种突然的戒烟，那么在这个时刻呢，其实是对于戒烟者来说是一个比较难熬的过程中。那么在这种情况下呢，就是我呢是怎么做的话，我是在吃饭之前呢，或者说是在戒烟之前呢，就告诉了我周围所有的朋友，包括我的同事，我已经开始戒烟了，请他们在吸烟的过程中，不要给我递香烟。那么我也并不需要刻意的去回避掉这些来自于同事和朋友的这种压力。
One of the challenges is that my wife, she's still a smoker. It was a challenge in the beginning, but now I feel like I'm handling it pretty well. I can be around the people who are smoking, even smoking next to me. I don't feel like I just need to, bump one of their cigarettes in a pack. Because for me personally, I've decided that I don't enjoy this anymore. It also kind of smells bad. At a certain point, it tastes bad, and I can imagine how bad I will feel if I'll even have one bump,
This is my roof, and I usually sit here and smoke. Today seems a little tough because there's a lot of work on my head and I have this craving, intense craving, and I'm trying not to go to it. So diverting my attention, working as much as I can, staying put. I've thrown all my packs, being honest, but I can still go to any shop and get it, but I'm trying not to. It's tough because it totally depends on you now, on your mental capacity, and if you can. It's like a war within yourself.
فلما قررت اني انا اقلع عن التدخين حطيت خطة مشيت عليها ضليتني مصر اني امشي عليها. اولها كانت عبارة عن فشل بالنسبة لي، بعدين صرت انه لا، لازم اني استمر، لازم اني اجربها كاملة. هلا انا بقترح عليك مثلا اذا بتواجه صعوبات كبيرة انك تقلع عن الدخان، ممكن انه نخفف منه شوي شوي، من حيث انه ممكن انه اول يوم نحكي كل ساعتين سيجارة، بعدين نيجي لليوم الثاني نزيدها كمان ساعة، يصير كل 3 ساعات سيجارة. هي اولها راح تكون صعبة لانه كل اشي في البداية صعب، ولكن لما تيجي تلاقي حالك انه انت واو انه بتخلص باكيت 3-4 ايام، هيك بصير عندك نفسية كتير حلوة.
El cigarrillo que a mí me gustaba más fumar era el que me fumaba después de tomarme el desayuno. Tomaba el desayuno y inmediatamente después me fumaba el cigarrillo. Para empezar a dejar de fumar, ese cigarrillo que me fumaba lo espaciaba lo más posible. Y cada vez lo espacié más lejos hasta que un día ya no lo fumé más.
因为这个尼古丁的阶段呢，这些呢其实是一个很正常的一个过程，但是在随后的一个过程中，你就会觉得自己对于戒烟来说是越来越容易了，因为你没有这种尼古丁的一个阶段反应的话。
فلازم الواحد فينا لما بده يجي يفكر انه يقلع عن التدخين هي شغلة إرادة. ممكن انك تبتديها في مرحلة بعد مرحلة بعد مرحلة. انا هيك عملت، مشيت مرحلة لأقلعت عن التدخين.
My friend called me up and he has been telling me that, you know what, Krishna, let's just quit together. He is a smoker as well. So he's like, you call me when you have a craving and I'll call you when I have a craving. Hey, what's up?
I was just wrapping up work.
I have some amount of work, but I feel like going out for a smoke. The point is that I need your help with this, and I think we both can help each other out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easier than trying to do it alone.
We got this.
My emotions. It's been a challenging day. I had no idea the emotional changes and imbalances I would feel with quitting. I'm sad, I'm groggy, I'm just very irritable, and I hate it. Today would have been very easy to revert back to old habits.
We're going to my mom to ask her what she thinks about my journey. I have like a few questions for you. So, what do you think about me quitting smoking?
It's the best thing I've ever heard. If you're determined to quit smoking, it won't happen in a day. It takes some time, but you should not give up.
Because for me, it's been a very weird journey. Like, you cannot just suddenly quit smoking.
Well, I've seen you struggling with it.
Yes.
But if you're determined, you've made up your mind, then you should stick to it.
Certainly increasing prohibition or increasing restriction of smoking in public places has a power of changing the way we understand the whole concept of it, how people are becoming lost in the routine of smoking. For me, smoking was a routine, and I thought that this is just a part of my life like anything else, like brushing your teeth in the morning, taking a shower, having a breakfast, and then smoking. But then this whole social atmosphere, the social setting is very influential.
那么对于你戒烟来说，最重要的是你要意识到你自己为什么而吸烟。那么你要想清楚，吸烟能给你带来什么好处？它到底能不能给你提升你自己对于工作的一个效率，或者说能不能缓解你的焦虑，或者能不能缓解你的压力？那么你要深刻的想到，就是要意识到你为什么而吸烟。吸烟真的能给你带来这么多的好处吗？那么当你想清楚这一点之后，我相信在随后的戒烟的行动中，会成功的。这是最关键的一点，也是对于我来说也是最关键的一点。
¿Cómo ganarle a la adicción? No es fácil, ya sabemos que no. Les voy a decir que primeramente tienen que tener la voluntad de querer dejar de fumar, porque si no tenés eso, no tenés nada. Me parecía que no iba a poder, que iba a ser muy difícil. Muchos años fumando, un vicio muy arraigado. Consulté con 2 doctoras excelentes, para mi criterio, porque están logrando y lograron que yo deje de fumar Empezamos con unos chicles, los cuales recomiendo porque te sacan esa ansiedad de querer fumar. Después pasamos a eliminar algunas actividades que yo mezclaba, como del café con el cigarrillo.
أول شيء أنا كنت أفكر إنها مستحيل إنها تخليني أقلع عن التدخين. بعدين قلت إن خليني أجرب مرة على مرة، أحط وحدة بعدين أشيلها بعدين أحط الثانية وهكذا ضليتني مستمر عليها. شفت إنه في إشي إيجابي عم بيصير، إنه أنا قاعد عم بقلع عن التدخين. أنا حالياً بعد ما قلعت عن التدخين بوقت العصبية إنه صرت لا أنا صرت أنا أعمل شغلات اللي تخليني أرتاح أكتر، بحيث إني صرت حالياً عم بفكر إنه إيش طلع له فائدة الدخان وقت العصبية.
I told my smoking buddies I'm no longer smoking, and they were quite supportive, but it was also very difficult seeing them going on their routine smoke breaks without me. That was very hard, but I feel like I've achieved a goal which I thought would only be possible a few more days down the line.
Now, instead of having a cigarette while being in a heated debate over the game of football with my friends, I pick up some kind of snack, which is like nuts, or would be fruits or something, or just drink water to occupy my mind, that I don't have anything missing, in a sense that I'm doing something that I used to do was smoking, and now I just substituted it in a different way. For me, it is difficult, but I'm approaching it in a different way this time. I just understand that this is a habit and I can control it from my mind, and somehow that helps me a lot.
So my strategy for the next few days would be to remind myself why I'm doing this, hold myself accountable to my mom, and it's actually quite nice because I have someone at home who I can turn to say, you know what, today is really hard, I'm really craving it, and she's there to remind me why I'm doing this.
Today has been a very tough day. I've had two very close friends. One of them is not doing well at all, and she's struggling because of COVID. And the other one just got tested positive. So it's a very emotionally heavy day for me. But the craving, the need, the emotional support of this weird thing that I have for it, the cigarette, it was too strong, so I had a slip and I stopped the cigarette midway. So I was also happy that I stopped it, and I was like, no. So that conscious effort was there. I wrote down what I felt, so I wrote down all those words. I want to read them again before like going to sleep, maybe just to like reflect upon what I did, so that tomorrow becomes a little easier.
مرات بخطر عبالي الدخان لما تيجي عبالي إني أدخن سيجارة أو تزيد رغبتي إنه بتدخين السيجارة. أول إشي بخطر عبالي اللي هي صحتي، إنه أنا لا، إنه أنا تحسنت صحتي، إنه أنا ما بدي إني أزيدها سوء، إنه أنا بديها تتحسن، ما بديها تنعكس تصير للأسوأ.
The fact that I was able to say no just there and then, to say no to such a big temptation, that's a big thing. Like I can see the brightness at the end of the tunnel. So, yay!
I would smoke here most of the time, but I am going to introduce you to some of my colleagues. Meet Kieran and Inga. Hello. What do you think in terms of my social interaction with people? Has it changed much now that I am a non-smoker?
Yeah, I can see that you're a lot more lively. I think smoking kills the soul. I do see you smile a lot more.
بالنسبة لي أفضل فائدة عن الإقلاع عن التدخين هي فائدتين. الفائدة الأولى اللي هي صارت صحتي أحسن. الفائدة الثانية إنه صارت الحالة المادية تبعتي أفضل. صارت الحياة صارت في عادات جديدة عندي اللي هي عادات صحية أكثر. إني صرت أصحى نشيط. صرت لما أروح من دوامي أطلع ألعب رياضة. بطلت أتعب. بطلت أصير ألاهث. إني أصير سريع التنفس. يضيق عندي التنفس بالليل وأنا نايم. خفت القحة.
The feeling that you get that you're on a healthier note, you're on a healthier path of becoming a healthier person. It works because it totally changes your mentality. If you switch it off here, then I think you're fine. Like for me, the strongest desire I always wanted to have a cigarette was after a few drinks. That deadly combination of alcohol with cigarettes was something that was just impossible to overcome. But this mixture of cigarettes and alcohol was something that started with being my most favorite to least favorite. Now, with the less and less nicotine in my life, things are changing a lot in that sense. My attitude is totally different. And this is something that I really see that is a huge change for me.
I depend on a smoke for my anxiousness. But now that I'm not smoking, I'm able to handle it better. I know that if I would have smoked, it would not have helped me. So me not smoking is actually helping me survive this lockdown and COVID much better. Not smoking is really helping me get some energy because I know that if I would have continued smoking, I would not have been able to do half the things that I'm able to do right now.
I was going through a lot in terms of just the emotional imbalance of feeling sad, which is also normal. But I feel like that has now passed and I am a lot more optimistic when I wake up in the morning. I'm a lot more positive. It's not to say that there aren't challenges in my life at the moment. I've just learned to not let it take control of my life.
戒烟的一个变化吧，从5个月以前，从第5个月的时候我开始戒烟的那一刻起，以前吸烟的时候呢，有时候吸完香烟之后会感觉到一个心率的增加，同时呢胸也会闷，那么胸闷气短。那么戒烟之后呢，我从来没有，我感觉到自己的呼吸相比较以前会更加的一个通畅，会更加的感觉到自己会更加的舒适，身体会更加的舒服一点。
I think this whole journey, of quitting, it has improved my health, my skin, and even my sleep pattern. I do feel like my smell has improved. I don't know if it's like a psychological thing, but when I cook, I can smell the spices better.
There are some things that I've noticed which have improved in terms of skin and body and mental health. I feel like there's this glow that I might have lost while I was smoking. My skin's a lot clearer, it's less problematic. One of the ways I can already see how not smoking is improving in my lifestyle is my ability to run better, my lung capacity. Always when I'd smoked and ran a race or even just gone for a run, I would feel as if my chest was on fire and I knew I couldn't push myself the way I wanted to because I couldn't handle the momentum that came with it. Not smoking is really showing me how further I can push myself and how further I can push my lung capacity. It's really been a very rewarding factor.
Puedo volver a hacer muchas cosas que antes hacía y que hoy no podía. Puedo respirar fuerte, puedo nadar, puedo andar en bicicleta y me siento mejor, me siento con más ganas, me siento con más salud, me siento que estoy en un nivel de salud importante y bueno.
那么戒烟对于我社交方面的一个好处呢，就是说有一点很明显，就是说你吸烟之前呢，大家都会很反感你身体上的衣服上和口腔里带来的烟味儿，但是当你戒烟之后，大家都这些事情就不会是你。那么当你戒烟之后，你并不会考虑到这一点，那么你可以放心大胆的去跟你的朋友啊或者是什么进行交流。
Long before I started this journey, I realized that the money that I'm spending on this is a lot. Just to reflect upon the financial pocket burn that I've done. I mean, there's a burn in the pockets and there's a burn in my lungs. It was a big wake-up call when I realized that, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to spend so much money on something that just takes away chunks of your pocket and it takes away chunks of your lungs.
برضو بعد ما أقلعت عن التدخين صرت أحس في فرق كتير كبير معاي من ناحية المادة. صرت أحب بالمصاري اللي كنت أدخن فيها، صرت إني أجيب فيها أشياء مفيدة، ممكن إني أطلع فيها على أماكن ترفيهية أو سياحية، ممكن إني أدخرها لأشتري شيء أنا ما كنت إني أقدر إني أشتريه بسبب مصروف الدخان.
These small changes will lead to a bigger, better lifestyle. So that's the hope, and that is what I am clinging on to.
Entonces, recomiendo que todos aquellos que piensen que no van a poder dejar de fumar, que se saquen ese pensamiento de la cabeza, porque eso no es cierto. Si yo pude dejar de fumar, ustedes también tienen que poder.
It's a decision that you personally have to make for yourself, and maybe it's the reason why I failed in my attempts before, because I wasn't doing it because I wanted to. I was doing it because people around me were saying, quit, it's not good for you, why do you smoke? But being held accountable and telling my parents and my grandmother and the people around me that I'm quitting really helped me this time, and not doing it on my own.
Les voy a dar unos tips para poder dejar de fumar que a mí me hicieron bien, me sirvieron bastante. Los hábitos que ya tenés, de los cigarrillos que ya fumás y que te parecen imprescindibles. Eso se puede disminuir la cantidad hasta llegar a 0. En los momentos de más tensión o de más estrés o de más angustia, que es cuando solía fumar más, bueno, en esos momentos tenés que buscar otra forma de canalizarlo. O te comes un chocolate, o tratás de mentalizarte, y bueno, si no podés más, entonces tratás de pedir una ayuda a un profesional para poder canalizar esas ansiedades y el estrés de otra manera.
Overcoming the urge to smoke and how I battled with those temptations has really been a challenge, but I can say that what is helping with that is surrounding yourself with people who are supporting you and who are there for you when you just need to say, you know what, today I had a bad day. I did feel like I could have done with a cigarette on that day, but I am proud that I didn't. So people who knows what you're going through and supports you is just very motivating and helps you overcome that urge and that temptation.
For me, it was very helpful to substitute certain things to fill in that void of the habit. When I would be working, or I would be speaking, or I would be nervous, or I would be excited, I will always reach out for a cigarette. But instead of doing this, I'm kind of in the back of my mind, I know that this is the moment where you need to fill in something. And this is where, for me, for instance, I started to have snacks, but I go on healthy snacks, no? Nuts, almonds, water, juice. It helps a lot to overcome that first phase when it's the most difficult, that you keep on forgetting that you quit.
So the healthy habits that I'm trying to bring is, of course, diverting my mind with foods that are good and healthy and also tasty. So I make those, so that action of making sort of diverts my mind. Secondly, I've also realized like the craving is the strongest when I have a heavy day of work and I wrap up work. So instead of heading out to my balcony with my tea and a smoke, I'm actually trying to work out. Yesterday I worked out. I was sweating, muscles were hurting, but the workout session completely changed my craving. Like there was no craving. It goes away and my focus completely shifts.
هلا من الأدوات اللي ساعدتني إني أنا أقلع عن التدخين هي كانت عبارة عن لزقة النيكوتين أولا. ثانيا كنت أنسى المحفظة أخذ مثلا إشي بسيط منها بحيث ما يكفيني إني أشتري باكيت دخان. أنا بنسى الفلوس ما راح أقدر إني أروح على السوبر ماركت أشتري مثلا باكيت دخان أو أظني أطلب إذا كان في لي زميل إلي مدخن إني أظني إني أطلب منه دخان. لأن أول مرة راح يعطيني سيجارة، ثاني مرة راح يعطيني سيجارة بس إنه ولا بعدين يعني راح تصير الشغلة إنك أنت تتضايق من جوا إنه أنت قاعد تطلب دخان من شخص ثاني. فهاي الشغلة هي يعني صارت عندي إنه حب التحدي وصار في عندي كمان يعني أدوات ساعدتني. هاي يعني أنا بالنسبة لي قررت بهاي الأدوات كتير ساعدتني. هيك بيكون يعني صارت عندي شغلة كتير أفضل بهاي الأدوات ساعدتني بشكل كبير إني أتخلص من عادة التدخين.
También es recomendable tener algún hobby. A mí me gusta pintar cuadros. No sé si lo hago bien o lo hago mal, pero me gusta hacerlo. La finalidad es poder estar ocupada en una actividad que me reconforta y que me hace olvidar de prender un cigarrillo.
抵御吸烟的一些有助于抵御吸烟的措施呢，就是说，当你决定戒烟的那一天起，我希望呢，就是说，所有的吸烟者能够将自己身边的所有有关香烟的东西全部丢掉，包括打火机，包括香烟盒。那么我平时呢，对于我的戒烟过程来说，其实我把戒烟当做一种挑战吧，当做一种意志力的一个挑战，到底是意志的胜利，还是尼古丁的胜利？包括我的一些朋友，他们会知晓我戒烟之后已经有5个月了，然后他们都会感到不可思议，很难成功的一件事情，但是你做到了，那么对于自己的一个自信心的提升呢，是一个有很大的帮助的。
If there's somebody at this moment that is sitting and watching this video and thinking, should I do it or should I not? I have only one argument. You should do it, and you should do it really soon, because every single day, every single hour that you're not doing this, you're missing out on a totally different world of sensations, of feelings, of taste, of yourself. You deprive your family, your friends, your loved ones of a better you.
The moment you take that decision that I am going to stop this, and you do plan on working on it every day, that's when you win, because burning your lungs every day does not make sense. And I have been successful so far, and trust me, if I can do it, if one person can do it, I'm sure that you can too.
I think a lot of people don't realize when you quit the side effects and the repercussions that come thereafter that you have to go through as well. And I went through those and I still go through those. But my advice would be, see it through. You're doing it and you're feeling this way because your body is now adjusting to a different lifestyle, a better lifestyle. So remind yourself of that aspect when you're going through it and you aren't sure whether or not you're able to see it through. Remind yourself of the good that will come out of it and how it will impact your life. Feeling very proud of myself. This change is going to be permanent in my life. It's not been easy, but it's definitely worth it when it comes to the benefits that it has on my life. And I can finally kiss my smoking days goodbye.
In the next 6 months, I will be able to quit this habit, because in these 14 days, I have had so many opportunities to smoke, but I haven't. I had one slip, and after that, you realize that, okay, I'm going to set paths on this journey, and I'm going to remind myself every day that I do not need to do this. My journey continues because it's a lifelong effort and it's a lifelong decision that you have to make. It's been incredible so far because I have gotten to know myself better. It's more than just quitting a bad habit. It's actually getting to know yourself better.
I've learned so much about myself, how strong I am, and how anyone can accomplish anything if they just put their minds to it. This was not just a journey of breaking a bad habit. This was a journey of reflection, of battling with myself in terms of putting my mind to something and doing it and seeing it through.
Looking ahead down the road, I think the biggest challenge would be to maintain an unsmoking lifestyle, and I think it is important for me to try to remember why I quit in the first place from the beginning, what was my motivation back then. And I feel like it is also very important to feel that things are changing since then, only for the better.
Lo más sorprendente de dejar de fumar, sinceramente, es ese hecho, dejar de fumar. Jamás pensé que iba a poder. Yo pensé que era una persona que nunca iba a poder. Pero lo más sorprendente, lo más increíble para mí fue que un día lo pude empezar a lograr y bueno, ahora es mantenerse. Cuando pienso en qué sucederá conmigo de ahora en adelante, cómo voy a poder mantenerme lejos de ese hábito espantoso como es fumar, qué va a hacer que me proteja de ese ataque que pueda tener de ganas de fumar. Bueno, en mi caso es muy sencillo. Yo he visto mi proceso y a lo largo de él tuve distintas etapas. No voy a volver para atrás, no me gusta, no soy una persona de volver para atrás. Cuando ya algo no va más, no va más. Soy así. En mi caso me sirvió eso porque dije, ya logré tanto, no voy a tirar todo lo que hice a la basura. Entonces pienso que lo principal es abstenerse y pensar en hasta dónde se llegó, cómo eras y cómo estás hoy, cómo está hoy tu aire y cómo está hoy tu capacidad pulmonar y cómo está tu salud.
الاشي اللي راح يمنعني عن التدخين تماما اللي هي الاصرار تبعي. بحس بالتحدي انه انا بدي اتحدى حالي انه انا لا بدي اني افرض الشغله اللي بدي اسويها اني بدي افرضها. فانا هسه حاليا انه خلص يعني انا اقلعت عن التدخين. فهذا الاشي بدي اعتبره تحدي يعني طول الامد انه انا حاطط ببالي انه ممنوع الدخان، انه انا صرت انه خلاص انا مقلع عن التدخين ما في داعي ارجع له لاي سبب من الاسباب لاي حال من الاحوال.
我已经戒烟将近有5个多月了，那么对于未来来说的话，我其实是有一定的，我并不会对未来复吸感到一定的担忧。我觉得那个时候觉得香烟可能会更加的提神，能够使我的工作更有效率，因此呢是选择了吸烟，但是我将来肯定不会去吸食香烟。那么为什么呢？就是说从根本上来说的话，我已经 不太愿意相信吸烟能够给我带来一些包括一丝一毫的一个精神上的效率上的提升。同时呢，现在目前的一个大环境呢，就是说大家都开始由吸烟者向戒烟者开始转变。吸烟在整个社会上来说的话，并不是一个让大家感到很开心的事情，大家并不觉得吸烟是一件很光荣的事情。那么相信未来我会将戒烟进行到底，永远都不会再次吸烟。
This change has taken a lot of time and effort, and my goal is to constantly remind myself that a cigarette is not there to be your friend when you are anxious or when you are sad or when you are not feeling your best. For me, it's not going to be this support system, and I need to constantly remind myself to cut this chain of dependency on it that I have. I'm hoping that I'm able to maintain this throughout my life.
خطط للحفاظ على هذا التغيير بطريقة استراتيجية اللي هي أني زي ما ذكرت سابقا أني أحافظ على الإرادة عندي، أني أحافظ على الإصرار، أني أحاول أني أمتنع عن أي سبب ممكن أن يخليني أدخن، من حيث تجمعاتي مع أشخاص بدخنوا عن أماكن يوجد فيها التدخين.
Personally, I'm looking forward to be able to enjoy life and everything that I like doing, every hobby, every little small thing that brings happiness into my life without a cigarette. I feel like it's a brand new chapter with the brighter colors, with better taste, and with a better feeling and better expectation for tomorrow.
Pensando en dónde puedo fumar, acá no se puede, no compré cigarrillos, todo eso se acabó. Y eso también estresa. Esa necesidad imperiosa de no quedarte sin cigarrillos, toda esa situación a mí por lo menos me estresaba mucho. Que eso ya no me va a suceder.
راح تتغير حياتي خلال 6 أشهر من حيث اني راح اوفر حق الدخان اللي كنت ادخنه بالشهر عشان اطلع رحلتين بالشهر بدال رحلة خلال 7 أشهر او 8 أشهر. راح اصير اطلعها مرتين بالشهر زي رحلة زي هون على البطل.
I think the feeling that you get with emerging victorious in a struggle to quit smoking is amazing. This boosts your confidence in so many ways, and it brings it to such a different level that you feel that there are new horizons, new opportunities. Everywhere you look, you feel like now you can do everything, and for you, sky is the limit. So come join the brighter side and remain a winner.
Making the decision to stop smoking for me has been the highlight of my year, because it's about me doing some introspection and asking myself, have I become a better person? And I feel like I have. I feel like this test and this challenge has made me realize how strong I really am and what I'm capable of. I think that that's going to help me in every aspect of my life, and not just when it comes to making decisions about my health, my career, or my son. And I plan on maintaining this change by reminding myself of the good that has come out of it.
Fue difícil dejar de fumar al principio, no lo niego. Sobre todo en mi caso, que fumé tantos años, ¿no? Evidentemente un hábito de esos que es adictivo no se puede dejar así de golpe. Entonces sí es difícil. Pero si te pones a pensar que no poder vivir como saludablemente, no tener calidad de vida, eso es mucho más difícil. Entonces cuando vos pensás en eso y lo acompañás con el tratamiento y lo acompañás con tu voluntad y la determinación, que es importante, no hay nadie que no lo pueda lograr. Eso es algo que tenemos que tener claro. Todos lo podemos lograr. No importa qué tanto tiempo hayas fumado.
I know that as every day passes with me not smoking, it's having a positive impact on my health. And that is the message I want to leave you with. You only have one life to live. Live it to the fullest. Don't be afraid to take that step, because this is not easy, but it's definitely worth it.
iniziato a fumare all'età di 16 anni, all'inizio fumavo a scuola, poi ho iniziato a fumare negli spazi pubblici con gli amici e infine ho iniziato a fumare anche quando ero da sola. Poi è diventata una dipendenza e infatti ogni volta che ero stressata fumavo una sigaretta.
La Lega Italiana per la lotta contro i tumori ha delle azioni contro il fumo che riguardano l'informazione, la disassuefazione al fumo e soprattutto la sensibilizzazione a partire dalle scuole primarie e secondarie.
Noi peer educator siamo dei ragazzi che vanno a fare campagne di prevenzione nelle scuole per promuovere uno stile di vita sano.
Il Comune di Milano da quest'anno ha portato avanti delle azioni veramente innovative, che sono la sospensione del fumo di sigaretta nelle fermate dei mezzi pubblici, nei parchi pubblici e anche negli impianti sportivi.
Un'azione assolutamente necessaria per la lotta contro il fumo, che si ripercuote non solo a livello della salute del corpo umano, ma anche a livello della salute ambientale.
It started innocently. It looked fun. It looked cool. But then I got hooked. And it had its downsides. I couldn't keep up physically. It started to put a strain on my life and the lives of my loved ones. Sick. Really sick. And I realized I was losing. But I knew what I had to do.
So we have seen these 6 case studies from 6 different countries, which is documented by and presented by the World Health Organization as part of awareness and campaigns of exposing tobacco and World No Tobacco Day as part of awareness and campaigns. We have seen how it's very easy to get hooked up, but it's not so easy to get unhooked. So anything, destruction is very easy, but any creation takes a lot of time. So to bring on good habits, it takes a lot of efforts and time, but to bring on bad habits, it's very easy. So getting addicted is very easy, but getting de-addicted requires a lot of efforts and support. Often, many times, we see the failure comes from the environment. Because though the person wants to quit, but the environment, the surroundings will not let him or her to quit. That's why even in the presentation we have seen, you have to announce your decision to the environment and the people in your environment so that they also and seek their support to quit, because that support is very much essential. If you have friends who encourage smoking or who encourage tobacco consumption, then your very purpose will be defeated. So it is also very important to have a proper environment, to have a supportive, conducive environment to support your decision. So we have seen through the presentation how tobacco kills up to half of its users who don't quit. And tobacco kills more than 8 million people each year, including an estimated 1.3 million non-smokers who are exposed to second-hand smoke or passive smoking. Around 80% of the world's 1.3 billion tobacco users live in low and middle-income countries. So that is taxing on their pockets and their finances, which otherwise could be invested or could be utilized for a better productive ways and means. In 2020, 22.3% of the world's population used tobacco, 36.7% of men, and 7.8% of women. To address the tobacco epidemic, World Health Organization member states adopted the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, in short known as SHHFI, in 2003. Currently, 182 countries are parties to this treaty. The World Health Organization Empower measures are in line with the WHO FCTC and have been shown to save lives and reduce costs from averted healthcare expenditure. The tobacco epidemic is one of the biggest public health threats the world has ever faced, killing over 8 million people a year around the world. More than 7 million of those deaths are a result of direct tobacco use, while around 1.3 million are the result of non-smokers being exposed to second-hand smoke. And see, unfortunately, even the literates or illiterates, it doesn't matter. your qualification doesn't matter, your status doesn't matter. Still, it is widely promoted in the society in peer groups. Unfortunately, this is one of the social evil or cultural evil which has to be ended, which has to be put by end by each one of us. Like smoking, drinking, drugs, and all these are dangerous, harmful, not only to individual, but also to families, communities, nations at large. All forms of tobacco use are harmful, and there is no safe level of exposure to tobacco. Cigarette smoking is the most common form of tobacco use worldwide. Other tobacco products include water pipe, tobacco, cigars, cigarillos, heated tobacco, roll your own tobacco, pipe tobacco, BDs, and greetings, and smokeless tobacco products are the other common products. Around 80% of the 1.3 billion tobacco users worldwide live in low and middle income countries, where the burden of tobacco-related illness and death is heaviest. Tobacco users contributors to tobacco use also contributes to the poverty by diverting household spending from their basic needs such as food and shelter to tobacco. This spending behavior is difficult to curb because tobacco is so addictive, and the economic costs of tobacco use are substantial and include significant healthcare costs for treating the diseases caused by tobacco use, as well as the lost human capital, and that results from tobacco attributable morbidity and mortality. Surveillance is the key. There are certain key measures to reduce the demand for tobacco. Good monitoring tracks the extent and character of the tobacco epidemic and indicates how best to tailor policies. Almost half of the world's population are regularly asked about their tobacco use in nationally representative surveys among the adults and adolescents. Second-hand smoke kills, that is passive smoking, is the smoke that fills restaurants, offices, homes, other enclosed spaces when people smoke tobacco products. There is no safe level of exposure to the second-hand tobacco smoke. Second-hand smoke causes serious cardiovascular and respiratory diseases, including coronary, heart diseases, and lung cancer, and kills around 1.3 million people prematurely every year. Over a quarter of the world's population living in 74 countries are protected by comprehensive national smoke-free laws. Tobacco users need help to quit. Among smokers who are aware of the dangers of tobacco, most want to quit. Counseling and medication can more than double a tobacco user's chance of successfully quitting. National comprehensive cessation services with full or partial cost coverage are available to assist tobacco users to quit in only 32 countries, representing around a third of world's population. Hard-hitting anti-tobacco mass media campaigns and pictorial health warnings prevent children and other vulnerable groups from taking up tobacco use and increase the number of tobacco users who quit. Over half of the world's population live in 103 countries that meet best practice for graphical health warnings, which includes among other criteria, large 50% or more of the main areas of the package pictorial health warnings display in the local languages. 1.5 billion people live in 36 countries that have aired at least one strong and anti-tobacco mass media campaign within the last 2 years. Tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, in short known as TAPS, increases and sustains tobacco use by effectively recurring new tobacco users and discouraging tobacco users from quitting. So bans on tobacco advertising lowers consumption. 1/3 of the countries, around 66, representing a quarter of the world's population, have completely banned all forms of tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. Taxes are effective in reducing tobacco use. Tobacco taxes are the most cost-effective way to reduce tobacco use, especially among youth and low-income group. A tax increase that increases tobacco prices by 10% decreases tobacco consumption by about 4% in high-income countries and about 5% in low and middle-income countries. Even so, high tobacco taxes are rarely implemented. Only 41 countries with 12% of the world's population have introduced taxes on tobacco products so that at least 75% of the retail price is taxed. Illicit trade of tobacco products must be stopped. The illicit trade in tobacco products poses major health, economic, and security concerns around the world. It is estimated that 1 in every 10 cigarettes and tobacco products consumed globally is illicit. Experiences from many countries demonstrates that illicit trade can be successfully addressed even when tobacco taxes and prices are raised, resulting in increased tax revenues and reduced tobacco use. The World Health Organization FCTC protocol to eliminate the illicit trade of tobacco products, short known as ITP, is a key supply side policy to reduce tobacco use and its health and economic consequences. Newer nicotine and tobacco products like heated tobacco products, HTPs, and tobacco products that produce aerosols containing nicotine and toxic chemicals upon heating of the tobacco or activation of a device containing Despite claims of risk reduction, there is no evidence to demonstrate that HTPs, these heated tobacco products, are less harmful than conventional tobacco products. Many toxicants found in tobacco smoke are at significantly lower levels in HTP aerosol. But HTP aerosol contains other toxicants found sometimes at higher levels than in tobacco smoke, such as glycidol, pyridine, dimethyl trisulfide, acetone, and methyl glycols. Further, some toxins found in HTP aerosols are not found in conventional cigarette smoke and may have associated health effects. Additionally, these products are highly variable. Some of the toxicants found in the emissions of these products are carcinogenic. That means they cause cancers. Electronic cigarettes or e-cigarettes are most common form of electronic nicotine delivery systems, in short known as ENDS, and electronic non-nicotine delivery systems, ENNDS, but there are others such as e-cigars and e-pipes. ENDS contain varying amounts of nicotine and harmful emissions. Use of ENDS or ENNDS products is colloquially referred to as vaping. However, this does not mean that they are harmless or emit water vapor. E-cigarette emissions typically contain nicotine and other toxic substances that are harmful to users and non-users who are exposed E-cigarettes emissions typically contain nicotine and other toxic substances that are harmful to users and non-users who are exposed to their aerosols secondhand. Some products claiming to be nicotine-free have been found to contain nicotine. Evidence reveals that these products are harmful to health and are not safe. However, it is too early to provide a clear answer on how long or on the long-term impacts of using them or being exposed to. Some recent studies suggested that the ENDS use can increase the risk of heart disease and lung disorders. Nicotine exposure in pregnant women can have negative health consequences on the fetus, and nicotine, which is highly addictive substances, is damaging for brain development. Nicotine pouches are pre-portioned pouches that contain nicotine and are similar to traditional smokeless tobacco products, such as snus in some respects, including appearance, inclusion of nicotine and manner of use, placing them between the gum and lip. They are often promoted as tobacco-free, which can be used anywhere and in some jurisdictions, such as the US, they are referred to as white pouches. There is a fundamental and irreconcilable conflict between the tobacco industry interest and public health policy interests. The tobacco industry promotes a product that has a proven scientifically to be addictive, to cause disease and the tobacco industry produces and promotes a product that has been proven scientifically to be addictive, to cause disease and death and disorders, and to give rise to a variety of social ills, including increased poverty, abuse, self-harm, harming others, and various other law and order issues. The scale of human and economic tragedy that tobacco imposes is shocking and also preventable. The tobacco industry is fighting to ensure the dangers of their products are concealed but we are fighting back. The World Health Organization, FCTC, is a milestone in the promotion of public health. It is an evidence-based treaty that reaffirms the right of people to the highest standard of health, providing legal dimensions for the international health cooperation. And World Health Organization, FCTC, is a milestone, the promotion of public health. It is an evidence-based treaty that reaffirms the right of people to the highest standard of health, provides legal dimensions for international health cooperation, and sets high standards for compliance. Since its entry into force in 2005, the World Health Organization, FCTC, has 182 parties covering more than 90% of the world's population. In 2007, World Health Organization introduced a practical, cost-effective initiatives to scale up implementation. The Empower measures, 6 Empower measures are monitor tobacco use and prevention policies, protect people from tobacco use, offer help to quit tobacco use, warn about the dangers of tobacco, enforce bans on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, raise taxes on tobacco. Nicotine contained in the tobacco is highly addictive, and tobacco use is a major risk factor for cardiovascular and respiratory diseases, and over 20 different types or subtypes of cancer, and many other debilitating health conditions. Every year, more than 8 million people die from tobacco use, and most tobacco-related deaths occur in low and middle-income countries, which are often targets of intensive tobacco industry interference and market. Tobacco can also be deadly for non-smokers. Secondhand smoke exposure have also been implicated in adverse health outcomes, causing 1.2 million deaths annually. Nearly half of all children breathe air pollution by tobacco smoke, and 65,000 children die each year due to illness related to secondhand smoke and passive smoking. Smoking while pregnant can lead to several lifelong health conditions for the babies. Heated tobacco products contain tobacco and expose users to toxic emissions, many of which can cause cancer and harmful to health. Electronic nicotine delivery systems and electronic non-nicotine delivery systems, commonly known as e-cigarettes, do not contain tobacco and may or may not contain nicotine, but are harmful. Let's watch a short video.
To be lost too soon. Across the globe, illness caused by all forms of tobacco
Here,
use and the exposure
where
to
I live,
secondhand smoke threatens people's quality of life and their livelihood.
Here, where I live, I can breathe freely. I can go to restaurants without worrying about my children breathing secondhand smoke. Let's face it, secondhand smoke is dangerous and kills more than 1 million people every year. That's unacceptable and completely avoidable. WHO provides concrete policy measures to fight the global tobacco epidemic. So far, over 5.6 billion people are protected by at least one of these measures. But the tobacco industry is fighting back tooth and nail by targeting the next generation with nicotine and tobacco products. Tobacco products alone kill 8.7 million people per year. We can't let this happen. It's time to restore our health, reclaim our lives, and breathe easier.
Every 4 seconds, one person dies from using tobacco. That's 8 million deaths every year. With every death, the tobacco industry must find a replacement consumer in order to keep their business alive. Tobacco and related industries are moving at a rapid speed to launch newer products, such as e-cigarettes and heated tobacco products, and prey on children and adolescents through deceptive marketing tactics. The products may be new, but for some, these tactics have been used for decades. WHO knows all too well that as long as the tobacco industry is thriving, lives will continue to be lost too soon. Across the globe, illness caused by all forms of tobacco use and the exposure to secondhand smoke threatens people's quality of life and their livelihoods. Tobacco is a key risk factor for heart disease, stroke, cancer, chronic respiratory conditions and diabetes, diseases which lead to 15 million premature deaths every year. Smokers are also at higher risk of severe COVID-19 outcomes and death. The health, economic, social and environmental effects of the tobacco epidemic are devastating. But we are fighting back. The WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control was established to protect the health of current and future generations from the devastating effects of tobacco through a legally binding set of policies. WHO is working with partners across the globe to help countries implement the WHO FCTC on the ground. We do this by focusing on a subset of measures to help reduce the demand for tobacco, called Empower. Monitoring tobacco use and prevention policies. Protecting people from tobacco smoke. Offering help to quit tobacco use. Warning about the dangers of tobacco. Enforcing bans on tobacco advertising, promotion and sponsorship. And raising taxes on tobacco. More than 5 billion people are now protected by at least one of these measures at the highest level of achievement, ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all ages. But this is not all. WHO continues to work within and outside the health sector to protect vulnerable populations and the environment. WHO also monitors industry tactics, policy progress, and emergence of new products. Freedom from tobacco and nicotine makes for healthier societies, for healthier people, for generations to come. For more information, visit our website.
So there is an urgent need and action needed to protect children and prevent the uptake of e-cigarettes, as well as non-smokers, and minimize health harms to the population. E-cigarettes as consumer products are not shown to be effective for quitting tobacco use at the population level. Instead, alarming evidence has emerged on adverse population health effects. E-cigarettes have been allowed on open market and aggressively marketed to young people. 34 countries ban the sale of e-cigarettes. 88 countries have no minimum age at which e-cigarettes can be bought. And 74 countries have no regulation in place of these harmful products. Kids are being recruited and trapped at an early age to use e-cigarettes and may get hooked to nicotine. As quoted by Dr. Tedros Adhanom, World Health Organization Director General, I urge countries to implement strict measures to prevent uptake of, to protect their citizens, especially their children and young people. E-cigarettes with nicotines are highly addictive and are harmful to health, while long-term health effects are not fully understood. It has been established that they generate toxic substances, some of which are unknown to cause cancer and some that increase the risk of heart and lung diseases and disorders. Use of e-cigarettes can also affect brain development and lead to learning disorders for many people. Fetal exposure to e-cigarettes can adversely affect the development of the fetus in pregnant women. Exposure to emissions from e-cigarettes also poses risk to bystanders. E-cigarettes target children through social media and influencers with at least 16,000 flavors. Some of these products use cartoon characters and have sleek designs which appeal to the younger generation. There is an alarming increase in the use of e-cigarettes among children and young people with rates exceeding adult use in many countries. Children 13 to 15 years old are using e-cigarettes at rates higher than adults in all WHO regions. In Canada, the rates of e-cigarettes use among 16 to 19-year-olds has doubled between 2017 to 2022. And in England, the United Kingdom, the number of young users have tripled in past 3 years. Even brief exposure to e-cigarette content on social media can be associated with increased intention to use these products, as well as more positive attitudes towards e-cigarettes. That is consistent. Show that young people that use e-cigarettes are almost 3 times more likely to use cigarettes later in life. Urgent measures are necessary to prevent uptake of e-cigarettes and counter nicotine. Urgent measures are necessary to prevent uptake of e-cigarettes and counter nicotine addiction alongside a comprehensive approach to tobacco control and in the light of national circumstances, where countries ban the sale of e-cigarettes to strengthen implementation of the ban and continue monitoring and surveillance to support public health interventions and ensure strong enforcement, and where countries permit commercialization, sale, importation, distribution, and manufacture of e-cigarettes as consumer products to ensure strong regulations to reduce their appeal and their harm to the population, including banning all flavors, limiting the concentration and quality of nicotine, and taxing. Cessation strategies should be based on the best available evidence of efficacy to go with other tobacco control measures and subject to monitoring and evaluation. Based on the current evidence, it is not recommended that government permit sale of e-cigarettes as consumer products in pursuit of a cessation objective. Any government pursuing a smoking cessation strategy using e-cigarettes should control the conditions under which the products are accessed. The tobacco industry profits from destroying health and is using the newer products to get a seat at the policy-making table with governments to lobby against health policies. The tobacco industry funds and promotes The tobacco industry funds and promotes false evidence to argue that these products reduce harm, while at the same time heavily promoting these products to children and non-smokers and continuing to sell billions of cigarettes and e-cigarettes. Strong issue action is needed to prevent the uptake of e-cigarettes based on the growing body of evidence of its use by children and adolescents and health harms. Tobacco use declines despite tobacco industry efforts to jeopardize progress. Globally, there are 1.25 billion adult tobacco users according to the latest estimates in the World Health Organization Tobacco Trends Report. Trends in 2022 show a continued decline in tobacco use rates globally, with about 1 in 5 adults worldwide consuming tobacco compared to 1 in 3 in 2000. The report shows that 150 countries are successful reducing tobacco use. Brazil and Netherlands are seeing success after they implemented empowered tobacco control and measures, with Brazil making a reduction of this report, Tobacco Trends, shows that 150 countries are successfully reducing tobacco use. Brazil and Netherlands are seeing success after they implemented empowered tobacco control measures, with Brazil making a relative reduction of 35% since 2010 and Netherlands on the verge of reaching the 30% target. Good progress has been made in tobacco control in recent years, but there is no time for complacency. World Health Organization urges countries to continue putting in place tobacco control measures and continue to fight against tobacco industry interference. While the numbers have been steadily decreased over the years, the world will make it to a 25% relative reduction in tobacco use by 2025, missing the voluntary global goal of 30% reduction from 2010 baseline. Only 56 countries globally will reach this goal, down 4 countries since the last report in 2020. The prevalence of tobacco use has changed little since 2010. In some cases, while countries are still seeking tobacco use rising, Congo, Egypt, Indonesia, Jordan, Oman, and Republic of Moldova. World The country surveys consistently show that children aged 13 to 15 years in most countries are using tobacco and nicotine products. To protect the future generations and ensure that tobacco use continues to decline, World Health Organization will dedicate this year's work, No Tobacco Day, to protecting children from tobacco industry interference. So with this, we shall conclude here. And today is also commemorated as World Parrot Day. And we have seen that it is a day that celebrates the parrot as a phenomenon. The order Pistachyiformes includes 398 species of birds divided into 92 genera. Parrots are mostly found in tropical and subtropical regions. The order Psittaciformes is divided and subdivided into 3 superfamilies. Thus, Psittacidae, also known as the true parrots, the cockatoos, and the Strigopedia, which are known as the New Zealand parrots. 1/3 of all parrot species are currently endangered, making them the birds with the highest aggregate extinction risk than any other bird. Parrots have a pantropical distribution, with several species also living in temperate regions of the southern hemisphere. Some characteristic features of parrots include strong, curved beaks and an upright stance, strong legs, and clawed feet. A large number of parrots are vividly colored, with some being multicolored. The visual spectrum, most parrots exhibit little to no sexual dimorphism. They are most variable size bird order concerning their length. Parrots from India, Africa, South America were some of the most common imports from these exploration trips. Not only are the parrots colorful and easy to domesticate, but they also provide relatively easy transportation on the long, uncomfortable sea voyages back to Europe. Only a few people were aware of the needs of the parrots, and the ignorance resulted in the death of many birds in transit. However, parrots did much better than more delicate bird species. The records of birds kept in menageries, the precursor to zoos, private collections of the elite, and artwork of birds from 16th to 18th centuries list parrots, pheasants, ostriches, and other long-lived and relatively easy to keep birds. Most pet parrots are relatively fresh out of the wild, as they are only a few generations removed from the wild, and few owners allow parrots the opportunity to express and exhibit their most basic bird instincts, such as flying, flocking, and mate finding. So, this World Parrot Day is a day to honor the magnificent bird and to also raise awareness of the endangered it faces. Most parrots can talk, and many parrots do with training, but some parrots may never speak a word simply because of their individuality. Parrots can fly except for the kakapo, which is the largest parrot. However, most pet parrots do not fly because they aren't in the wild. So, adopt a parrot can adopt a parrot as pet from rescue centers. They usually are fun and talkative. Generally, don't buy parrots or don't keep parrots, but only from the rescue centers where you can support them or you can take care of them so that they are taken care, which are rescued, and donate to a parrot conservation and contribute to efforts to save parrots from extinction. And all parrots need a safe environment, whether it's a family home or in the wild. If you do own a pet parrot, which you should not keep as pets, as you can read or about the dangers they are currently facing and making your friends and community also aware of it. Parrots do live very long, with the average lifespan being 35 to 50 years. And parrots' beaks are extremely strong, and it is said that they can be strong enough to cause harm to a metal cage. The kakapo, based in the New Zealand, is the biggest parrot, weighing up to 9 pounds but being unable to fly. In 1995, a parrot named Puck was in the Guinness records for knowing up to 1,700 birds. Parrots out in the wild can keep mating all through their lives. Parrots are very fun birds and they can be trained to speak. Parrots are relatively easy to train than other birds. Most of the time, they learn by imitation. That's why we call parroting when someone is just repeating or imitating. So ensure that you repeat all the words you want the parrot to learn. Parrots are beautiful because of their various bright colors. They're just really aesthetically pleasing as birds go. World Parrot Day was started by the World Parrot Trust in 2004 as a way to let everyone know that these remarkable birds need protection in the wild. Since 1989, the World Parrot Trust has been protecting parrots through groundbreaking conservation and wildlife programs with the help of international community of dedicated partners. Nearly 1 in 3 parrot species are threatened in the wild due to habitat loss, trapping for the pet trade, and other human-generated threats. So this year, 2024, is celebrated as the 20th anniversary of the World Parrot Day. And this World Parrot Day, there are unique challenges to be discovered and inspiring work which is happening in the Southeast Asia, where rapid development of habitat loss threaten parrot species. The World Parrot Trust is also a proud member of the Asia for Animal Sanctuaries and Rescue Centers Coalition, which is known as, in short, SARC, a member-led working group. Nestled with lush canopy of our planet's most diverse ecosystems, parrots add a vibrant splash of color to the world's tropical forests. Yet, these majestic birds face many threats from habitat loss to illegal trade. That's where the World Parrot Trust steps in with the mission to protect parrots and their habitats worldwide. The World Parrot Trust, founded in 1989, marks a significant milestone this year, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the World Parrot Day, established in 2004. This special day shines a light on the challenges facing parrots and has evolved into a global movement over the past 3 decades, which have been actively engaged in projects across the globe spanning continents, making a lasting impact on parrot preservation. Southeast Asia, which with its rich biodiversity and rapid development, presents unique challenges for parrot conservation. Habitat loss driven by urbanization and deforestation threatens the homes of countless parrot species. Illegal trade poses another significant threat, fueled by demand for exotic birds. In responses to these challenges, the World Parrot Trust has collaborated on many projects in Southeast Asia and South Asia, working tirelessly to safeguard parrots and their habitats. This year, the Indonesian region of the World Parrot Trust is focusing on key species such as critically endangered Mitchell's luricate and endangered species such as the red and blue lory and the blue-eyed cockatoo. Our efforts And the World Parrot Trust involves studying the population status, threats from habitat loss and illegal wildlife trade, and competition with other species that these birds face, to implement tailored conservation interventions in collaboration with local partners. Additionally, provide emergency care for Indonesian parrots affected by illegal trade and crucial support for rescue centers and other organizations working on the front lines in the region. And also to optimize this support and grow a solid network for parrot conservation. They provide comprehensive support to rescue centers and government agencies, including hands-on training in parrot health and husbandry, training that ranges from veterinary care to professional rehabilitation, husbandry, and enrichment techniques. They share the best practices for relocation and releases, as well as post-release monitoring to evaluate the methodologies and impact. Their mission is to boost efforts of aid in treating the symptoms of illegal wildlife trade and see birds related back into their home ranges after successful rehabilitation. The impact of illegal trafficking itself is not limited to the poaching of birds from the wild. Many parrots do not survive the ordeal of trapping, confiscation, and through conservation network and partners at Asia for Animals Coalition. They have recently published the guidance of the first responders on the short-term care of confiscated parrots, which is available in both English and Bahasa Indonesia to help the forming best practices frameworks that can be adopted by the frontline organizations across the region. The guidance for the first responders on the short-term care of confiscated parrots is not just a document. It's a lifeline for parrots rescued from the ordeal of illegal trade. It equips responders with the knowledge needed to provide immediate primary care tailored to unique needs of each confiscated bird. These parrots often arrive stressed, sick, and hungry after enduring horrors of poaching and trafficking, sometimes being transported in bottles and bags. Critical first aid in the first 24 to 48 hours can increase their chances of survival and potential for rehabilitation and release. In Bangkok, recently established foundation, Asian Conservasi Paru Bangkok, also exemplifies their commitment to collaboration and local engagement in Indonesia, meaning they can direct more resources into the region, allowing them to work closely and stakeholders to improve conservation initiatives for threatened parrot species across the archipelago. By partnering with organizations and communities across Indonesia, they strive to safeguard wild parrot populations, tackle illegal trade, offer vital care for parrots in captivity, and protect their natural habitats. They also provide avenues for partnerships and knowledge sharing, including yearly parrot conservation grant supported by the Natural Encounters Conservation Fund, which is open to organization and research across the world working to advance knowledge of endangered species and implementing conservation measures for their protection. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. And as we already exceeded the time which was intended for this presentation, So we'll move on to any queries, and at the same time we'll launch the feedback so that you all can fill the feedback form. So from tomorrow onwards, we are having one-week international conference. So we request, we'll be sharing the link. The link has been already shared on the website and social media platforms. So we encourage and invite all to join for the international conference from tomorrow, that is from 1st June till 9th June, the entire week. We will look into various types of cancer and various other initiatives which we could not cover today in the upcoming conference. So the feedback form has been raised in the form of polls. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, and if you have any queries, feel free to share in the chat box your observations. Yeah, Pradeep, you had some query. Yeah, actually we were mentioning to fund or to foster, parrots who were which were rescued. So yeah, they are illegal to keep because they are wild animals. Anything else you would like to contribute? We can unmute you. If you would like to contribute, you can raise your hand.
Thank you, Ravindra sir, for
Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
unmuting me. Hello.
Ama, you can start your audio and video.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I can't able to. Yeah. Okay. So, sir, as you said that parrots conservation is necessary, but at the same time, if you see the dire consequences in India, the country, most of the time parrots has been most they have been smuggled and also illegally traded. And even if you see most of the time in fortune tellers, they keep the parrot in a small enclosure, and most of the time the wings have been tapped and they are unable to fly. And at the same time, they experience a lot of pain and trauma. Mostly these parrots have been brought from the nearby forest, and which is the one of the major reason for the declining of the parrot species. And many of the states, like if you take in parrots, Alexandra parrot and rose-ringed parrots, these are the most common species which has been protected in India, and also they are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. At the same time, keeping an as them pets is prohibited. But however, if you rescue them, probably you need to hand over to the registered wildlife organizations or the state forest department. Or if you belong to any particular district, also there will be the district forest department where you can hand over the injured or parrot or anyone to the concerned DFO. But you can't foster them because certain wildlife animals or birds, they need cross permissions. An individual can't frustrate. However, they can get a permission from the forest department. So it's a temporary thing that you need to get a permission from the forest department. Without that provisions, any individual can't take the wild animals into the procession. So that's my point, sir. I just want to emphasize more on that.
Yes, President. As you rightly pointed out, no wild animal can be kept. So actually, people have a workaround here. We see people are breeding, various species, exotic animals, and they are also imported. And they are especially breeded for being kept as pets. So they are having a workaround so that people can keep even the species which are basically wild animals or wild birds, but they are not from wild. So they are breeding exclusively for keeping them as pets. So in such cases, we are seeing a lot of birds which are being sold also and which are being permitted also. But in such cases also we see a lot of abuse that is happening. So we have to be careful, especially when it is concerned with the life of whether it is a human being or an animal or a bird. So there are still laws, acts applicable for even for such cases also. So we need to ensure that we are complying to the local laws wherever the land of law says whatever it says, especially with wild animals. Anyway, it's a very good input from you, Pradeep. And you can also come up with a presentation in coming days where, we can see what are the various threats and what is the percentage of, how these parrots are, threatened. Maybe we can come up with statistics. What is the topmost threat or challenge they are faced, and the kind of, percentages we can come with along with percentages, where how much percentage, maybe roughly we cannot arrive at exactly, as we have only reported. Unreported are always higher. So we can come up with such a statistics, and you can also make a presentation in the coming 1 week so that we all can be aware of this parrot conservation also. Because this week also we can commemorate.
Sure, sir. Definitely, sir. We'll plan it and do accordingly. Definitely will.
Thank you, Pradeep, for your contribution. It's really indeed a valuable,
Thank you, sir.
contribution. So anyone else would like to share anything? Feel free to raise your hand. We can allow you. Regarding certificates, so generally there is a procedure which you can see on the screen. You need to register using Google form because that is accessible from everywhere. And you need to register also in the Zoom platform, those who are attending, because generally the Google form registrations are more. Those who don't attend also, they fill or they are not able to attend. So we have incorporated registration into into Zoom platform as well. So those who are attending only can fill the registration and feedback form in the platform. That is taken as attendance, the total duration, and also the filling of registration form and the feedback form. That will mark your attendance. So fill the details now itself, because whoever is there, we see people leaving and joining. That is a problem where people lose their opportunity to get certificates. And after this, there will be another feedback form, which is a Google form. Those who have left your meeting in the last moment or something, based on your attendance and based on your registration, it will be considered. For that, it is getting delayed for the certificates, as we are immediately sending within 24 hours to your email address, registered email address. But we are observing that very less percentage of people are filling up the feedback form. So even we have released the certificates of 22nd event and 20th event, that is International Day for Biodiversity, and also earlier events. So 2 events, international seminar, we have released updated participation certificates for those who have completed the formalities. And we observe that the participants are not completing formalities in time. So that is where the certificates get delayed, and others are also in progress. Slowly we are releasing all the certificates one by one. So we request everyone to quickly check your emails. Most probably by tomorrow evening, before we start our tomorrow's conference, 1-week conference, we'll be sending an email with the registration link as well as the feedback link. So we request everyone, you might have all registered through the Google form, and also the Zoom platform is mandatory, registration and feedback. But if you have already filled, if you are available, ensure that you are filling up both the forms. Just in case you have a genuine reason you are not able to fill, we'll consider that also. But if you are available when these forms are there, we request everyone to fill it so that you will have a smooth process of getting the certificate. So the feedback form is active in the form of polls. The Google form will be shared in the email and also on the website. So now it is not yet prepared because we were also preoccupied with other things. It will be sent to you after this closure of this seminar. We'll prepare it and we will email you, and we will also update on the website. The website link has been already shared to all of you through which you have registered and you are attending. Hope you have it in all platforms. Again, I am sharing it in the chat box, and it is available on the website also. You can visit. I will quickly show you. So to make presentations from tomorrow, you can use a registration form, which is different. For 1-week conference that will be shared, that have been already shared in the website. We will also share once again now and tomorrow on various social media platforms. You can register for it. Just give us a second, we'll show you the website. Take 1 more minute before everyone fills the feedback form. So this is a website, main homepage. Here, this is a conference I was talking about from tomorrow, 1st June till 9th June. This entire week, every day we'll be talking about various events like parenting and renewable energy sources and sustainable practices like bicycle and fishing, unsustainable, unregulated and illegal fishing related issues and food safety, nutrition, oceans, biodiversity, ecosystems. And there are a lot of topics that can be covered up. We'll provide you if you are coming with presentations, or we also have enough content to present. So in both ways, if anyone is interested, so they can use the form available here to register. The joining link is saved for all the events for all the days. So you can save it. It is very simple. Mobile number of the coordinator, and the passcode is year 2022. That remains same since 2022. So this is today's seminar. So here we will update the feedback form link, as well as we will send you this entire message to your email ID also. So those who are there in the Zoom platform, we request everyone to fill up the feedback form. And then tomorrow, once you received, or tonight, once you receive this feedback form link, the Google form, kindly fill up that as well and provide your valuable feedback. So here, once you visit this link, or even in the sidebar, navigation bar also, you have the links. The latest will be on the top, and gradually the oldest follows. So here you can see the e-certificate links. So they will be shared here, from where you can download your e-certificates. So registration form is there. For those who have attended directly without registration, you can register even now also. No issues. But attendance is mandatory. The first criteria you have to ensure is attendance, because registration form you have to fill before, but if you are joining directly, that's fine. But you cannot get attendance, you cannot participate once it is over. So that's why whether you register or not, you attend it properly and you fill the registration form and feedback in Zoom platforms, so that you can fill these forms before or after, before generation of certificates. That flexibility is there, but don't delay unnecessarily. So here it will be updated. So you can see the instructions. So more or less the instructions will be same for all these events. And for previous events, like you have seen, we have updated the e-certificates link. You can download, and this is for 22nd, and for 20th also. We have updated the e-certificates. So you can download from here. So every event, you can see similar links where, like this, feedback form link will also be there. Those who have attended have minimum attendance, and those who have not filled the registration form and feedback form, they can complete so that they can become eligible. Those who have already completed registration, after attending, they can fill the feedback form to be eligible for the certificate, and ensure that you are completing everything in time, so that we can get certificates in time, and fill the form correctly with valid details. Don't skip anything. And the YouTube links for all the events will be shared on the website. Even today's link will also be updated today or tomorrow. So all the details will be available on the website. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. And see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the international conference, 1 week. We invite you, everyone, to actively participate, make presentations, and complete the formalities in time. Without completing the formalities, we cannot issue certificates. Certificate is not the priority for us. We are giving it for all those who are completing formalities in time, who are following instructions. So if for you, if certificate is priority, there is nothing wrong in that. Ensure that you are completing all the details in time, formalities. So thank you. Once again, we appreciate all your efforts, time, and patience for joining us in this international seminar and being part of the awareness and campaigns of World No Tobacco Day and World Parrot Day. So keep attending and keep supporting us and keep gaining more knowledge and also get participation and presentation certificates. So thank you everyone. Take care. Good night.